African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command in combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing on the progress of the special military operation as of July 26, 2025. Tonight, the Russian armed forces launched a group strike with long-range precision weapons and unmanned aerial vehicles against Ukrainian military-industrial complex enterprises manufacturing components for missile, weapons and producing ammunition and explosives. The strike's objective was achieved. All designated targets were hit. Units of the North Group of Forces improved their tactical position. Manpower and equipment of a tank, mechanized brigade, and 2 assault regiments of the Ukrainian armed forces were damaged in the areas of the settlements of Alexivka, Besilovka, Proletarskoye, Mariino and Sadki in the Sumy region. In the Kharkiv direction, units of the Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the Territorial Defense Brigade were defeated in the areas of the settlements of Tycho, Melov in the Kharkiv region and the city of Kharkiv. The armed forces of Ukraine lost over 215 servicemen, a tank, 3 combat armored vehicles, 8 cars, and 4 artillery pieces. 2 electronic warfare stations and an ammunition depot were destroyed. Units of the West Group of Forces improved the situation along the front line. Defeat was inflicted on formations of 3 mechanized and assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and a Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Andriivka, Kupiansk in the Kharkiv region, Karpovka, Shandrigalovo, and Drobashevo in the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy's losses amounted to more than 220 servicemen, 3 combat armored vehicles, 11 cars, and a field artillery piece. 4 ammunition depots and 2 electronic warfare stations were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of troops occupied more advantageous lines and positions. The manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized, mountain assault and airmobile brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces were defeated in the areas of the settlements of Seversk, Pleshchievka, Konstantinovka, and Dranovka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 180 servicemen, a tank, an armored combat vehicle, 2 cars, and 4 artillery pieces. Units of the Center Group of Forces continued to advance into the depths of the enemy's defenses. The formations of 2 mechanized, airborne brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Marine Brigade, a Territorial Defense Brigade, and a National Guard Brigade were defeated in the areas of the settlements of Daknoy in the Dnipropetrovsk region, Udaknoy, Rodinskoy, Poltavka, and Krasnoarmysk in the Donetsk People's Republic. The losses of the Ukrainian armed formations amounted to more than 455 servicemen, a tank, 2 combat armored vehicles, 8 pickups, and 3 artillery pieces. Units of the East Group of Forces, as a result of successful offensive actions, liberated the settlements of Zeleny Gai in the Donetsk People's Republic and Malayevka in the Dnipropetrovsk region. The manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and a Territorial Defense Brigade were defeated in the areas of the settlements of Velikomikhailovka, Novogeorgievka in the Dnipropetrovsk region, Iskra in the Donetsk People's Republic, and Temirovka in the Zaporizhia region. The Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 190 servicemen, an armored combat vehicle, 8 cars, and a field artillery gun. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces defeated formations of a mechanized brigade, a coastal defense brigade of the Ukrainian armed forces, and a territorial defense brigade in the areas of the settlements of Molotok Machka in the Zaporizhia region, Tyajinka, and Tokarevka in the Kherson region. Over 60 servicemen, 4 cars, an artillery gun, 3 ammunition depots, and 4 electronic warfare stations were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops, and artillery of the Russian armed forces groups damaged assembly and storage sites for unmanned aerial vehicles, missile and artillery weapons depots, as well as temporary deployment points for Ukrainian formations and foreign mercenaries in 142 districts. Air defense systems shot down 5 U.S.-made Mars multiple launch rockets, as well as 257 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the following have been destroyed: 664 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 72,659 unmanned aerial vehicles, 624 anti-aircraft missile systems, 24,337 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,581 multiple launch rocket system combat vehicles, 27,852 field artillery guns and mortars, 38,722 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.